Mm. Mm. Okay, so I started the recording already. Okay, so let me share with you what we are going to do today. Okay, can you see my slide?
Yes, clearly.
Okay, so as I briefly mentioned in the call for today's session, okay, it's about research application for all the research that has been being done here in UITM. It is a call from the top management that all research, okay, done by both the students and the staff must be approved by the Research Ethics Committee in UITM. The idea is if anything goes wrong, example, if you are doing a survey and you are collecting information from the netizen or from the population, and if they are not happy about it, they can always come back to UITM and say sue the researcher uh, for that kind of harassment, for example. If the research has been approved by the Research Ethics Committee of UITM, UITM will be responsible for or whatever you are doing out there while you are completing your research or while you are interacting with the community out there. So that is the idea, meaning that uh, the call for having all students doing research, all staff doing research at UITM to get approved through Research Ethics Committee so that UITM can be the umbrella for your research, the umbrella of, uh, I mean, you are protected by the rules of UITM, or UITM will be responsible for whatever happened to you while you are doing the research. Okay, so the objective of today's session is you will be able to get the overall picture of the research ethics application. Okay, and then familiarize yourself with the required research ethics forms and what the requirement in order for you to fulfill the need of the application. Okay, so I'm sorry, Li Jing, this is in Malay. Okay, but basically, let me just tell you what you need to do, and after that, when we go through the process, I think that will give you understanding of this particular diagram. This diagram is about the application process through the system for research ethics depository or RED. Okay, the short form is RED. Okay, so this is the process. First, you need to log in. Okay, you need to register first. Okay, this is the link https slash red.uitm.edu.my and then depository login. If you are both a staff and student can register. Okay, because once you go to the website, then you have the option whether you are a student or you are staff. Okay, and then if you are a guest, if we just want to try of, if you are a sort of UITM, we want to register. we can do that by using our identification card number. Okay, and then once you, the Secretariat of the Research Ethic at UITM will give you the names and the staff number in order for you to get access to the menu of research committee if you are the secretariat. Okay, once you register, then you can go ahead to the uh, application window, and then you have to fill up. Okay, here what it says is you have to fill up the new application with the information about your research. Okay, and then you need to make sure that all the fields need to be filled up. Okay, and then once you do that, then will go to the evaluation and verification by the secretariat. Okay, but you don't have to really worry about it. Okay, your part is here at the application, but this is the whole process. Once you apply, it will go for evaluation and verification by the committee, and then there will be some review and the evaluation by the main committee, and then they will give you an email as the notification for the result. Okay, sometimes the result can be straight away pass or approved, or sometimes it might require you to do some modification. Okay, the reason why I'm doing the session today, okay, even though you actually can just go ahead to the web and then read the instruction, it is very easy to follow. However, my intention of going through the process so that you will know exactly what you need to fill up. So that once you fill up, hopefully the result will be an approved. Okay, not I was hoping that it will not come back for us to do the remodification or correction and so on. So that is the idea. Okay, so okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm doing the I'm adapting my PowerPoint from my previous talk actually, so not really proper a bit. Okay, but let us see first. Okay, this is the first step that you need to do. Okay, you need to develop your research proposal first. Okay, so when do you need to fill up the research ethic form? Or when do you need to apply for the research ethic approval? Okay, the best time is after you pass your defense research proposal. Okay, one like Li Jing, you just passed, so this is about the right time for you to fill up the research proposal. Okay, even though you have passed it quite a bit some time ago, you still need to fill up. Okay, so while you are doing your research, okay, you fill up and then we will just wait for the approval. If it is most of the time, okay, they will give us time for us to get, um, they will feedback quite fast so that we sure will have time before our final submission of the thesis. Or if we need to submit for an article for publication, something like that. Okay, so students are expected to come up with the research proposal, of course, under the guidance of your appointed supervisor. And after the going through with the supervisor, okay, here we put in after the evaluation process, which is the defense. Okay, after the defense, then you need to fill up the uh, uh, application for research ethic approval. Okay, I put this in red. Research ethic approval must be obtained before data collection. Okay, let's say you haven't, for Hazwani and Lijing, for example, let's say you have started doing the data collection, but you haven't applied for the research ethic yet. Okay, don't worry about it because we at MITRANS, we don't really do study that will require that will really affect the ethics in research. That's why I'm uh, not really emphasizing on this before. Okay, however, there is a call from the top management, so that by December this year, okay, all the research must be having the code number for research ethics approval. Okay, so we are doing the draft now, so that all research and MITRANS will get that
张
approval.
迪就是讲的数据分析，咱们学校这儿好像还有要求，我建议你听听那个。
Okay, Liji, you are talking to me. I don't understand if you are talking in Chinese. Okay, so let me give you a brief idea of what need to be filled up. Okay, here we say application forms. Okay, previously it will be done manually. However, now we need to go to the system, but the content of the application are very much the same. So what I will do in this session, I will go through the not really the form, the sort of information that need to be filled up in the system. So after we and some tips about what to fill up, okay, followed by later is the actual hands-on on the application itself. Okay, so in the application form, there are in several information needed. The first one is details of the researcher. The second one is research details. Okay, this comes from your proposal. Part C is the funding details. If your study get funded by grant or any other thing. Okay, part D is agreement to conduct the research project. Okay, it should be you and your supervisors and your research team member. Research risk classification, the applicant checklist, and the verification from the department or the postgraduate research committee. Okay, at MITRANS. Okay, so this is the first part. Part A is details of the researcher. Okay, for detail of the researcher, okay, you need to fill up the title of your research project, and the title should contain the independent and dependent variable, and if possible, the population, but the number of words, okay, on the title must not exceed 15 words. Okay, so if I were the panel for your research proposal, usually I will emphasize on the title should not be too long and so on. Okay, because ethically in the research, title should be a title. So title should not be too long. Okay, in research ethics application, okay, they specify that it should not exceed 15 words. Okay, and then name of student can be one or more. Okay, sometimes we do research group, more than one student doing the same study, but for our case, only one student, right? Okay, name of the supervisor, also one or more. Okay, usually we put in our main supervisor. Okay, but all the co-supervisors must also be in your uh, application for research approval. And then the faculty, Malaysia Institute of Transport, Shah Alam, the contact number is the telephone number and also your email. Okay, down here is specify, you need to specify whether you are undergraduate or postgraduate. Okay, here by coursework. Okay, like I said, okay, I did some explanation to my students. So actually, it should be undergraduate or postgraduate here by coursework. Okay. Then does the research require an external research ethics committee approval? Okay. If yes, then you need to put in external committee name. If no, then tick no. Okay. What do we mean by whether it require an external research ethics committee or not? Okay, here, let's say you are using data from Ministry of Education Malaysia. Okay, if you are using their data, okay, let's say data from schools or something, okay, you need to get approval from them before you can go ahead and do research or do the data collection. But you might have question, for example, say you are doing something about COVID situation, and all the data about COVID is available on the Ministry of Health website, example, meaning that not only you can access the data, but others also can access to the data freely. Does it mean you need the research ethics committee approval from the Ministry of Health? Okay, the answer is no. It's more on if you are using the data, but the data is not publicly available. If the data is publicly available, you don't need any approval from the organization. Okay, you understand? Okay, meaning that, okay, let's say you are using data from Mendeley or something, okay, you don't need, you will tick no here. But they say your mother is working in Ministry of Education, for example, and she is a teacher, for example, and you get the data from her, okay, but that data is not publicly available, then you need to get the approval from the Ministry of Education. Okay, meaning that any data that are not publicly available, you need to get approval from the organization. Okay, and then you need to state it here. Okay, if next is about research funding. If your supervisor pay for your study or pay for the research through a grant, okay, then you can tick no here. Yes, you tick yes, and you need to complete section C later, yeah, if yes. If no, then you can skip part C of the. Okay, this is part B. This is the gist of the gist of the overall research at the application. Okay, you need to fill up the background of your study. That's why if you have your proposal ready, it will be very easy and very fast to enter the information into the research at the application form. So here you need to put in a brief explanation of the problem to be studied, okay, which is your problem statement, and some literature review or citation to support your problem statement. So it's a little bit different from uh, the actual proposal. Okay, but here you can see that there is a breakdown. Okay, so up here is the background of your study. Down here is the problem statement. Okay, meaning that for the problem statement, which it will ask you to fill up only less than 100 words, meaning that this must be in your own statement. What is your problem actually? What problem actually you want to solve throughout this research? Okay, so ini kena letak research background. Down here is the problem statement, and you might put in some references. Okay, also say here that you should not paste all of your references from your main proposal. You only include references cited in this document. Okay, so from my experience, okay, this portion here it will be about 1.5 page only, not more than that. Don't make it 2 page or so. So it's about one maximum is 2 pages. So meaning that it will be very brief. Okay. So from the background of the study, actually the evaluator, whoever read your application here, they later will need to give an evaluation whether your study is minimal risk or minimal risk or less than minimal risk. Okay, to more than minimal risk or more than minimal risk. Okay, minimal risk or more than minimal risk. Okay, there are two categories which I will explain more on that later, and what will come after that classification, whether it is more than minimal risk or minimal risk. Okay, so next in part B, okay, will be the research detail. Okay, in the research detail, you need to fill up your research objective. Okay, research objective. Okay, if you have your proposal ready, then research objective should be very easy. You just copy it here. Okay, and then you need to number your research objective. Okay, for master 2 or 3 should be okay. For PhD 3 to 5, okay, objective can be here. And so make sure that your objective must be achievable and it must be tally with the statistical analysis that or method of analysis that you will fill up later. Okay, and at the same time, okay, in the next session, okay, it requires you to put in the expected benefit. So what is the expected benefit? It can be a social benefit, or from your research proposal is more on research significant or significant of your research. What is the significance of your research? Who will benefit from your research? So that is what you put in here. Okay, but it says that less than 100 words, meaning that you must make it very clearly and straight to the point. Okay, next, this is very critical here. Okay, the date of research commencement and when it will end. Okay, let's say you started your study in 2020. Okay, just put in the date for the commencement date. Okay, and then when is your expected graduation date? So you put that. Okay, okay, let's say like Zarif, you just started in October 2022, and let's say you plan to do it within 2 years, for example. So you started in October 2022, you might want to end it by say February 2024. So that is what you put in here. Okay, number 5 is the expected date of initial data collection. Okay, initial date for data collection, it must be at least 2 months before the submission of this form. Okay, let's say for Leading, for example, okay, you just pass your defense, okay, which is a few days ago, right? Okay, on the 3rd of November. Then you complete the application form by end of November or early December. So just put in here the expected date of initial data collection to be December, January, February 2023. Okay, February 2023. But let's just say that you have started the data collection. Don't be too clear here. I mean, don't be too sincere here. Okay, because the moment you say that you have collected the data, they will automatically reject your application. So just put in the date of 2 months after you are submitting the application form. Okay, so that is the tips. Okay, so next is the location of the research. Okay, so location of the research must be specific. Okay, if we are like us, you should put in here location of the research is at Malaysia Institute of Transport, UITM Shah Alam. Okay, that must be there, location of the research, first thing. The second one, for Leading, for example, you can put the address of your home in China or the address of your institution there in China. Okay, so you have two location for your research. Okay, but the rest you might want to just put the location to be at Malaysia Institute of Transport, UITM Shah Alam. But you must be specific of the place where you will be while you are doing the research. Okay, next is quite tricky a bit as well, but if you have completed your research proposal, you can just copy it here. Okay, number 7, you must put in the research design and the methodology. Okay, this comes from chapter 3 of your research proposal. Okay, you must specify clearly, okay, what is the design of your study, for example, cross-sectional, or you are doing experiment. Okay, basically you need to describe the methodology in detail. For our case, we don't really do any experiment. Okay, but we are doing a data collection. So you need to describe the data collection procedures. Okay, what are the tools that you are going to use? For example, you are going to collect the data by using camera. Okay, you take pictures, for example. Then you say the tools used to collect the data are camera and Canon camera, blah, blah, and so on. And then you also need to, if you have the if you are collecting your data using questionnaire, you need to specify about your questionnaire. If you are doing pilot study, you need to specify saying that you are going to do a pilot study and so on. So this is basically a summary of your chapter 3. Okay. Number 8 is the inclusion and the exclusion criteria. What do we mean by this? Okay, inclusion means that if you are doing a survey, if you are doing a survey, you will use questionnaire as your tool, or let's say you are doing an interview, and who are the respondent? Who are your interviewee? Okay, let's say the interviewee are the top management of or the expert within this following field. Okay, then you put in here the characteristic of your participant, inclusion criteria. Exclusion criteria would be those who will not fit into your character or characteristic of your potential respondent. Okay, let's say your study does not involve people at all. Okay, you don't do questionnaire, you just do data collection from some open source. Okay, or you just collect the data from or you are doing or using secondary data. So here you cannot leave it blank. You must put in not applicable, NA. Okay, inclusion criteria or exclusion criteria, put in not applicable. Okay, we are using secondary data. Okay, next is uh, the research detail, more on research detail. Okay, number 9, it will ask for sample size. Okay, for example, if you are using survey, you need to do questionnaire. How many respondents you expect to get, and what is the sampling method? Okay, you need to specify it here. In your methodology, research methodology just now, you don't really need to say how many respondents you want to get, but here you need to put in. However, you cannot simply say I expect to get 300 respondents. That doesn't work. Okay, what you need to do, you need to provide the calculation of the sample size. Most of the researcher, you use Rausoff table, okay, in order to get the sample size. Then you need to quote uh, Rausoff table here together with the formulation. Okay, number 10 is the research flow chart, meaning that you need to draw the research flow chart. This flow chart will be based on the description that you have done earlier in uh, session 7, right? This is session 9. Session 7, where you read out about your research design, research methodology, and so on. Summarize that in form of a flow chart, then put in here. Okay, in number 11 is the statistical analysis. Okay, here it asks you to briefly describe the data analysis and the statistical analysis. Okay, the inferential statistics, or whether it's going to be content analysis, you need to add the appropriate statistical test. Okay, however, let's say you don't really do statistical test because you are doing qualitative study. Okay, but here you need to put in how do you derive your conclusion. Okay, it must also be cross-check with the objective of your study in order to ensure that the analysis that you do here in session 11 will meet the research objective. So the statistical analysis here is more on, okay, let's say you want to see the effect of certain intervention. Okay, so in your analysis, you want to do the comparison for the before and after the intervention. So you do it here, you specify it here. For example, in order to achieve objective number 3, you will do comparative analysis. So you write that in this statistical analysis. So meaning that in the section 7 just now, you describe the methodology, how you're going to collect the data, and then you simplify in your research flow chart. But whatever your method of analysis, you will put that in section 11 here under statistical analysis. Okay. Just now, there is a section that asks you whether you will get some funding for your research or not. If yes, then you have to put in the information, what is the grant all about, what is the source, the registration number, the amount of money being allocated for the research, the duration, and others. Okay, and then, but if it's is a no, in the form you can still put in not applicable, not applicable. However, in the system, okay, will directly skip this part C, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, next is the agreement to conduct the research project. This must be completed by all the research members, the student, you, your supervisors, your co-supervisors, and whoever involved in that research. Okay, mainly for us and MITRANS, okay, for a master, I think the most number of research member is 4, right? The student, main supervisor, and co-supervisor are three, right? Okay, but for PhD, or some master student, you have a co-supervisor, so maximum 4. Okay, for PhD, you will have your main supervisor, sometimes 3 co-supervisors, so there will be 4 as well. Oh, master 3, right? PhD 4. Okay, around that number. Okay, so you need to fill out your student ID. Okay, okay. So I think the form here is not complete. You should put in the name, right? Okay, here I think I missed that. So you should put in the name, student ID, the telephone number, your email, and then your supervisor, co-researcher here are the co-supervisor. Okay, make sure all of them fill up the information, and I think later we will see in the system whether they will need to endorse in the form or not. Okay, in here actually all the researcher need to sign the form. Okay, upon the submission. Okay, here the next part is on the research risk classification. This is very crucial as well. Okay, you have to answer yes or no. Don't leave it blank. If you answer yes, then you need to write the description of why you think it is a yes. Okay, okay. Put in here. Okay, so that I can see it. Okay, so you have to answer yes or no. Okay, for the research risk classification. So please answer all questions below. If it is not applicable, then you can write an A, okay? All must be answered. So the first one, if you are doing a survey, you need to answer, are the participants under 18 years old? Okay, if a yes, then you need to give a description. If a no, then you don't have to say anything. Okay, next, are the participants from a particular vulnerable group? For example, those with mental disorder, mentally challenged, disabled, minority, or disadvantaged group. Okay, if you say yes, then you need to give a description. Okay, let me tell you what is the effect of no and a yes here. Okay, remember just now I said that all of the research application will be categorized into two. Either it is minimal risk or more than minimal risk. Okay, if your participant are under 18 years old, meaning that then they are not really in a good state to be responsible for their decision. Okay, so if that is the case, if your study is involving participant under 18 years old or those from a vulnerable group, okay, you take yes for both here, the tendency that your research will be classified as more than minimal risk is very high. Okay, but I'm not saying that you cannot do such research. You can still do that, but then you will need to do it properly. Okay, and then the research ethic committee will also be helping you to be responsible for whatever is the effect of that particular research. Okay, there are more questions. Let me go through quickly. Any of these participant or patient in terminal care, okay, whether they are sick or require um, um, any medical care or so on. Any of these participants unable or incapable of giving consent, meaning that they are not in a good state of mind, so they cannot really make their own decision. Okay, the participant given any form of emolument to participate, meaning that do you give some money for them to participate in your research or not? Sometimes if we require our participant to do something, okay, we want to give them some token, right? Okay, you can do that. Okay, you can say yes here. Let's say you give them a pen, example. Okay, that's okay, no problem. But you need to describe that. Okay, and then does any of the data collected have the potential to cause discomfort, embarrassment, or psychological harm to the participant, or any sexual orientation being done while you are doing the data collection? Then you need to specify it here. Does your research involve measures undeclared to the participant, meaning that you have some covert observation? For example, you want to see how they react towards, let's say you are producing some food, and then you want them to taste it, okay, but you want to capture their reaction from their face, example. So, but you don't really tell them that what you are going to do. You just tell them, please taste this food. Okay, meaning that you will do some covert observation, right? Okay, then you need to really tell in your research risk classification here. Okay, so that the committee will guide you on how to do it the right way. Will the collected data be made available to other parties not involved in this research? For example, you are using data from Ministry of Education. Okay, will you use that data as part of your article and then you want to display it in your article, for example? Then we will tick yes here. Okay. However, let's say you collect the data in raw forms, and then you summarize it. It's okay. It's not really showing the data as it is. Then you will click no here. Okay, will you be collecting biological samples, something from human body or something? Okay, I don't think we do that in MITRANS, right? Okay, so most of us will tick no here. And then do you have access to any information that will allow the identification of individual human participant? Okay, let me give you an example of this. Sometimes we do survey, we collect data using questionnaire, okay, but we don't, and then we just take the summary of their responses. We don't really reveal who they are. Then we will take a no here. However, let's say you specify clearly that your respondent is a PhD student under the supervision of Dr. Wan Mazlina, for example, the title is this. Okay, meaning that whoever read your statement will find who is the person. Okay, meaning that it can be identified. Okay, then you need to tick a yes here. Okay, let's say you are doing study by capturing some data from YouTube, and but you really specify, even though YouTube can be openly available to everyone. Okay, but let's say you are doing research and then you specifically mention a particular YouTube page. Okay, then you can identify the individual. You need to click yes here. But when you click yes, you need to give a brief description of why you say yes. Okay, is the collection method invasive and has the potential to cause harm, pain, or discomfort, except for finger, heel, and ear prick? Okay, because this is minimal, it won't be holding any harm for a long time. Okay, but the others, okay, that involve the body, okay, then you need to specify here. Will the participant be subjected to vigorous physical test or exercise regime? Okay, if it is a no, we can go straight to question number 15. If not, then you need to answer all this as well, right? Okay, so number 15, is there any form of procedures or medication involved in your data collection process? Okay, so most of the time at MITRANS, we will say no, right? Okay, so next, number 16, is there any drug or device used? Okay, hopefully no, right? Can the informed consent be obtained from anyone other than the patient or the participant? Okay, this is, let's say you are doing study on small children. Okay, so you don't really, if you ask them, they might not be able to decide. So you need to ask for the guardian to give permission, right? Okay, so you need to specify here. Is there any kind of risk to the participant if he or she chooses to withdraw? For example, firstly, they give consent, and then after that, they say they do not want to do anything or to have anything to do with your research. You need to specify here. Sometimes when we started our research, we do a contract. For example, and if they halfway decided to withdraw from the research, okay, that will affect your research. You need to really tell them. Okay. So number 19, what type of biological sample will be collected? You need to indicate the amount and frequency. It might not be applicable to us, so you have to tick no. And then, so will the biological sample obtained be stored for future research? If you want to keep for future, then you need to say yes here. Do you propose to analyze the sample outside of the original purpose for which it has been collected? Sometimes we collected data, we want to keep it so that you can later use for another study. For example, let's say for us, lecturer sometimes want to have it used by our other students. Okay, you can keep it. Okay, then you need to say yes. Okay, if yes to number 21, will you obtain consent from participant for this purpose? Then you have to explain here. Number 23, are there any other ethical issues not stated in this checklist? Okay, if you go through this, it's quite a long list, but let's say you have more, you can always describe here. Okay, so up till here, you have any question?
No, doctor.
No question?
No, doctor.
Okay, you're being good. Okay, so next, research. Okay, next is the categories. Okay, not very clear, right? But let me just bring it here so that I can. Okay, here is some information on effect on the classification. Okay, for example, remember I said minimal risk or more than minimal risk. If it is minimal risk, okay, sometimes for most of our studies in MITRANS, we don't really involve human, right? Okay, they might approve it for uh, approval without really going through the research ethics committee. Okay, if you are undergraduate student, if you are doing your master's by courses, okay, you have that privilege of uh, passing through the research ethics application, but still you need to fill up a form for research ethics exemption. But since we are doing fully by research, so we have these two categories. Okay, if your study doesn't really involve human at all, it is totally a secondary data. Okay, of course, it will be a minimal risk. That there can be some risk here and there, but it is of minimal risk. Okay, will mean risk to the participant, even if you have a responded, but based on your questionnaire, it doesn't really involve feeling uh, uh, eh, or not anything that can be painful to the participant. It can be categorized as minimal risk. So if it is a minimal risk, meaning that it can be approved automatically, maybe within 2 weeks. However, if it is more than minimal risk, meaning that it involves human as your participant, and if we read the question or if the panel read the question, somehow the questionnaire can bring pain or can be bring discomfort to the participant, it being categorized as more than minimal risk, you will need to present it to the full board of Research Ethics Committee UITM, meaning that there will be another stage that you will be called to defend your proposal. Even though sometimes it has that risk, but we can do it with the guidance and under the umbrella of UITM. Okay, you can still do it. Not I'm not saying, or we are not saying that you cannot do that, but I mean, it need to be approved by the committee who will then guide us on how to do it right. If anything goes wrong later, UITM will be responsible together with us. Okay, so that is the okay. The last one is checklist. Okay, we are completing the form now. Okay, applicant checklist. Okay, you need to make sure that uh, all the items are being checked or being responded, whether it is yes or a no or not applicable. You need to fill that out. Make sure you sign. Make sure your supervisor sign. Okay. Okay, these are the form. Okay, next is, let's say you are doing the survey and you need to do the questionnaire. There is an additional information that you need to fill up is the participant information sheet. Okay, here you have the research title, introduction of research, purpose of research procedure, all this, all this. Okay, you can, once you fill up the actual form, okay, you can just transfer the information here for the participant information sheet here. So you need to fill up this form, okay, the subject information sheet, okay, and then it must need to be signed by the participant for them to officially agree to participate in your research. Okay, next is the assent form. Assent form if your respondent are vulnerable group or children below 18 years old, then you need to fill up this. Okay, still you need to fill up some information and it need to be signed by the guardian. Okay, so I think that is okay. That is the basically the information that need to be filled up. Like I said, the decision for the application will be informed 2 weeks after your the meeting. Okay, the meeting will be every Tuesday of the month. So meaning that if you submit early December, they promise that if it is minimal risk, you will get it within the month itself. Okay, that is their promise. Okay, but if it is more than minimal risk, okay, maybe you need to go through another process. I think it will take about 1 month for you to get your research being approved. Okay, the reason why I do the session today is to ensure that you know what to fill up, so that when you fill up the form, it will be right the first time. So you will not need to resubmit or redo the proposal or the application. Okay, so that should be the end of my briefing for the form. Okay, so next let us look at the manual. Okay, the manual are also in Malay, thing. Okay, but dual language, right? Dual language. I will scan through this form, but because I want us to hands on to the system, I want to show you how to do that. But let me scan through this manual first. Okay, this is the manual for the user of system research ethics depository, the RED system. Okay, for the applicant. Okay, you need to register. This how it will look like. Okay, you need to log in with your Gmail. Okay, let's say once you register, you can log in with your email. Okay, or your student email. Okay, and automatically you will be approved to log in. However, for the first timer, now none of us, for me, I have logged in or have registered some time ago. But for you, you need to register new account down there. So klik di sini untuk pendaftaran account baru. Okay, and then this is the web for the new account registration. Okay, you need to select your user type, whether you are a student or the staff, or you want to be identified as a guest. For you, you need to click your ITM student. Okay, so then once you click your ITM student, then you need to click register. It will ask you to fill up your email and your student ID, and then click register. Okay. So then you will be brought into this main dashboard. Okay, you will see research ethics. Okay, for some of us, okay, for this person here, okay, she has two roles. Okay, as the reviewer and also as the applicant. Okay, but later, if you are the one who apply, once you register, when you go in, you will see only one form here, where you are the applicant. Okay, so you click this button here, research ethics, it will give you this. Okay, then you need to apply, click apply for ethics approval. Okay, and then you need to get out again actually. But when you get out
Doctor,
again,
Doctor, can you
apa dia?
share the screen, Doctor?
Oh, you cannot see it.
We still see the slide.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. I need to change it. Okay, I stop share. Okay, I thought I share the whole screen. Okay, tapi dia share satu-satu. Macam mana share screen mungkin lah. So I'm already on the 8th page. So let me go back to the first. Okay, this is the manual. Okay, which I will share later in the group. Okay, this is the first page that you will see in the web. Okay. So for me, log in with Gmail because I'm already a user. For you, you need to register new account here. Once you click that, then you have to choose your user type. ITM student there. Okay, once you click your ITM student, you will go here for your ITM student here in the middle. Okay, so you need to fill up your student ID and your email and then click register. Okay, once you do that, it will take you to this page. Okay, but I think when you go in, you don't really see the application progress here. You will just see this one. Okay, you have to click there and then you can see this page. Apply for ethics approval. Okay, once this one appear, then you need to click action for edit. Okay, then it will give you all this information. Application form for ethics approval, you need to fill up all your information. Okay, and then save and so on. Basically, it will look very much the same, right? Okay, let me go back. Okay, here you can see very much the same, right? Okay, so you just fill up, save. Okay, and then you need to add all that, and then you add in all the supervisors. Okay, the application type. Okay, delete necessary, and then all this. Remember, if yes, there are 23 questions, just like what I show you just now. Okay, if you click yes, then you need to give the description. If no, then you can skip that. Save. Okay, and then you need to fill up all the information. Okay, and then here it says click choose file to upload the document. You need to upload supporting document. Here it will tell you that you can upload 3 documents, the flow chart. Okay, meaning that you need to create a separate file for the flow chart so that you can upload here. Flow chart just now in the form is section 7, right? Okay, you need to fill up save it in a separate file and then upload here. The supporting document here can be your questionnaire. Okay, if you are doing survey, there will be your questionnaire. Okay, another file here, maybe you want to share with them your proposal. Okay, so that they can read thoroughly on the actual study research that you are going to do. Okay, so you have on top of you have given them the summary, you might want to upload the document in order to support your application. Okay, however, not necessarily. I think for flowchart, that is compulsory to be uploaded. Okay, but for the supporting document, not really compulsory, but my suggestion is for you to upload. But down here, if you have more supporting document, for example, you're getting the data for Ministry of Education, and you get the approval letter from them, then you can put in here as your supporting document. But let's say your study get approval from many organizations, more than these 2 documents, you can put that into your Google Drive and you can give the URL here. Okay, URL pautan to Google Drive if you have more than 2 documents. Okay. So, okay, this is for clinical studies only. Okay, not applicable to us. Okay, I think we will be asked whether you have any clinical research or not. Then we will skip this. Okay, and then down here will be the checklist and the declaration. Okay, the system will tell you if there are some information which is not complete yet. So in this checklist or the endorsement part, then you can go back to the section. As you can see from the top here. Okay, and then you can go back and correct it. Okay, meaning that you can still go back and forth in order to fill up the information. Okay, and then once you have completed that, Okay, completed all that, then you can click submit. Okay, and then it will change the application process. You will see that the status here, okay, will change to whatever pending, meaning that it's not being looked yet by the member, by the committee. Okay, maybe we can see a bit here. Okay, these are the description of the status. Draft meaning that we haven't submitted. Okay, and then you want to edit it again. Pending, you have submit, but pending verification from the research committee. Correction meaning that you need to do some correction. Verify meaning that you are okay. They will come back with minor correction, major correction, resubmit, and hopefully we get it approved. Okay, it's one of the status. Okay, if you want to do any correction, you can go back. Okay, and then you will get the email from the system saying that you have any change in status or not. So meaning that you don't really need to go back to the system over and over again, but they will send you an email telling you what is the status of your application. Okay, so very easy, right? And okay, I will share with you this particular manual. Okay, so still a lot more to look at, but down here in the last page, you will get the document for you to download, and also you can see the research or the RAC approval number that you can put in your thesis or in your article whenever you are writing. Okay, so this is a very crucial number that we need to get. Okay, for all of our research. Okay, question so far? No question? Okay, no question.
No, doctor.
Let me go. Okay, what do you see now?
No for me.
What do you see now? Do you see anything?
Nothing. Zoom.
Zoom?
Your screen, your laptop screen.
You can see my screen?
Yes.
Yes? You can see my screen, right?
Yes, madam.
Okay, let me see now. Don't worry, this will be very quick. Okay, I need to go back to the manual. Okay, I need to go back to the manual so that I can copy. Now you also can see my screen? Can you see my screen? No?
Yes. Still.
Oh, yes. Okay, good. Okay, you can copy that. You can copy that and put here. Search for, then we'll give you the research ethics.
We see the manual now, doc.
Huh? Nampak manual pula. Klik share. Share. Macam mana nak share? Ni nampak apa? Can you see my screen now?
We see the front page of our RED.
Okay. So
Okay.
actually, to get to this website, you can type recuitm.org/red or from the manual, in the front page of the manual, there is a link, okay, for you to go to as well. Okay, so but if you can't remember how to get to the web, you can always ask me, right? But you can read UITM, I think will still go to this web. Okay, so from here, actually this is an online system for UITM research application. Read the manual first, Okay, these are the manuals, the infographic I have shown you just now. Manual for the applicant. Okay, the manual that we have seen earlier. This is for the reviewer and for the secretariat. Okay, these are nothing that concern you, but you can still read, so you will know what is needed for the secretariat in order for them to go into the system and so on. Okay, but what is important here is this one. Okay, the second manual. So let's go to read quickly. So you can register new account. Okay, like I shown you, but let me just log in with my email. So then, okay, I have two draft here, but what you can do, the moment you enter, you can just click here. Okay, once you click here, you should go here. You will see that there are two buttons, apply and review. Review meaning that review is for, I think because I'm one of the reviewer, so you can go to apply. So when you go to apply for a new application, you don't have all this. So you need to click for apply for ethics approval. So you click this. Once you click that, then you have to fill up. Okay, why I show you this, okay, even though you can see it from the manual, is because there are something that you need to fill up, okay, which later you might not know what to choose. Okay, here it's very easy. Application form for ethics approval. Down here, only one role available, project leader. Don't worry about it. Just click, because if you are a student, then you can fill up that. Okay, your position, okay, student maybe, you just fill up. Okay, here you want to see, you want to write Malaysia Institute of Transport. UITM. Okay, UITM. UITM. Okay, and then you have to choose Selangor. District is Shah Alam 4040450. Shah Alam Section 1 UITM. Okay, so Lijin, I hope you also pay attention. Okay, because later maybe you need that information. Okay, Selangor and Shah Alam Section 1 UITM. Down here, you can fill up your phone number. Okay, or you can also fill up my phone number there. Okay, and your mobile and title of your research. Okay, just put in whatever number. Okay, so if you have a grant, okay, you can click yes. If no, you will skip some section. Okay, some section, then you click the button save. Okay, so successfully added new application. Okay, that is the project detail for part A. Part B, okay, this is still project part A, right? Okay, here we need to choose. Here we need to choose the applicant type. Okay, just now when I was going through the system, I think this is something that is critical. Okay, you have a lot of places here, but for us, we are under Institute Pengajian. Do not know what peng there. Pengurusan, I think Institute Pengurusan Pendidikan dan Inovasi Ilmi. So we have to choose this one because we are under TNCPI team. Okay, so we choose IRMI. Okay, and then let's say we are using secondary data. So we click secondary data. Okay, if you are using interview, focus group, or whatever, you just click, you can click more, let's say. Okay, so you can see that we can click more than one, right? Not necessarily only one. Okay, and then title of the project, that's it require external research ethics since we don't have that will give you an automatic no here, but you can always change to yes. Okay, and then all the information here, make sure you fill up all research objective and so on. Save. Select. Okay, it wants me to select. Okay, so meaning that I cannot really go on to the next page. Okay, but basically the next page, okay, let me just put in some expected date of starting data collection. Like I say, if we are applying in November, so let's say we want to start in January. January. Okay. Yeah, research ending. Okay, let's just put 24 Jan. Okay, and then commencement now. Okay, save. Data collection 2 months from today. Okay, so you can see that for the data collection, it really wants us to put in 2 months from today. So that would be, okay, which is, oh, okay, I understand. It must be more than 2 months from today. Let's okay, because just now I put in exactly 2 months, right? From the day that we enter the application, but it will not work. So you need to put in at least more of 1 day from the actual the date for the actual data collection must be more than 2 months from the day you enter the form. Okay, save. And then go to edit record. Okay, and then we finish that, and we go to this one. Okay, here you need to, you can add new member and then put in all the name. Okay, and then action, you can edit or you can add. Okay, research risk. Okay, these are the 23 questions just now. The participant form, if needed. Okay, if not, you just put not applicable. And then you have to upload the supporting document, the project flowchart, the two supporting document. And if you have more, you can put in the Google Drive link and then the endorsement. Okay, so the endorsement, you need to click here. And so where do we stand it? Upload endorsement. Right. But I think it should go to the next one, but why it cannot go to anywhere? And click. So when you click, after just now you need to click back, then you will get this one, right? So for now, the status is draft. So let's say edit. I think we can, if we fill up correctly, I think we can go to the next for the checklist page, I think, right? Okay, so we really need to try and fill up and see what happens. Okay, but I don't really have any proposal with me right now. So, but for you, once you fill up, if you have any problem, you can always refer back to me so that we can complete it together. Okay. So I think that will be the content for today's session. Okay, hopefully it will help you because I'm going to, this is recorded, right? Okay, if you have problem, if you don't remember, You can always go back to the recording to see what tips that I've given you for filling up the forms earlier. So any question?
Doctor, if we have completed filling the forms and all, do we need, maybe we need to see you one-to-one just to, go through all the information before we submit it, can we?
Yes. Okay, because I was asking the committee to see whether I can have a look at the KPPS, whether I, as the secretariat for the research ethic administration, have a look at it before you submit. Okay, I haven't really got a response from them yet. Okay, but if you want to see me personally so that I can go through, then that will be better.
Okay, thank you, Doctor, and I
You
will
can.
make an appointment with you later. Thank you, Doctor.
Okay. Okay, so what about the others? Do you have questions? Vijay, you have
from
questions? Sarif, you have questions?
No, doctor.
How is your proposal progressing?
Saya tengah working on chapter 3.
Okay, good. Chapter 3 will be research methodology, right? Okay, Lijing, you have question, Lijing?
Doctor, I have a question.
Okay.
I have got the data. Do I need to make a plan?
Oh, yes. You still need to apply, but like what I said, okay, even though you have collected, that will be among us. Okay, so why don't you fill up the form quickly? Okay, let me have a look and then submit and just say that you want to collect it later. Okay, that should be okay. We cannot be too honest. Okay, you know what I mean?
Oh, yes, I understand.
So you try to fill up the form first. Let me have a look, and then we decide on the date we want to put in. Okay, because I do think also because most of our research here at MITRANS, we don't really force people to respond to our questionnaire, right? So it should be no problem. So don't worry about it. We just try to make it documented, and we get the approval for doing the research ethically. Okay, so even though we have collected the data earlier, so for documentation, we just say that we will collect 2 months from the day that we are applying. So we want to do that. Okay,
Understood,
did I
Doctor.
answer your question, Vijay?
No, doctor. Thank you.
Okay, so Azwani, you have question?
I know, but okay, like this, Doctor. I will have like two phases in this research. The first one will be the interview, and from the interview, I will develop questionnaire. So basically, I will have the interview for this I will attach the interview question, the interview protocol with this form. But for the questionnaire survey, it won't be as complete as it should be, because it will actually require the finding from interview to complete the questionnaire. So can I just submit the complete one for the interview and the draft of the questionnaire for the questionnaire for this
Sure,
purpose
no
of
problem.
submission?
Yeah,
Okay,
sure,
okay,
no
okay.
problem.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
Okay, like I said, this process is not really making it difficult for us. Okay, so think it positively. Okay, because you need to understand that we are doing this so that when we do research, anything happen or something, some issue rise from during the time that we are doing research, UITM is behind us. Okay, so we are being guided by UITM Research Committee. Okay, so we need to be positive about it, even though this is an additional step that you need to do in order to do on top of writing the proposal, going to the defense, going to the viva, and so on. This is just a small portion you need to do in order to ensure that your research being done ethically and also being guided by the committee of UITM.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. And can we have a sample of the flowchart for item 7 just now? 7, is it?
Yeah, I will get it. I will try to get it from those who have passed.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
Okay. Any other question? No question? And, okay, who is this? Who is iPhone? I can't see your name. You can open your camera so that I can also see you if I recognize you. You have question? I can. Who is this? iPhone ni siapa? Who is iPhone? Lan Lan? Oh. You want to say something? Okay, but like I said, if you have question, you can always write to me through the WhatsApp or through WeChat. Okay, any question you can write to me. Okay, so if no more question, we will end the session today. All right.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, thank you for joining me. Okay, even though I expect nobody will join me, even though I'm alone, I will still go ahead with the session so that I can get it recorded and then share with all of you later.
Thank you,
Okay,
Doctor.
so I see you then. Thank you Zare for joining me. Kalau
Thank
tidak
you,
kita dah
Doctor.
sorang-sorang aja kan dengan Azwani. Thank you, Lijin. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Zandi, it's you. Why you don't say a word? You have question, Zandi?
Doctor, could you email your PowerPoint to me? I want to read the detail.
Oh, sure. I will. You want me to email? Sure, I will. I will.
Yes, I want to read the detail about how to write the how to write my research. So I want to read your PowerPoint.
Okay, sure, sure. I will email to you in a while. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
How are you? You look cold. Is it cold in China?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So thank you for joining me today.
Mhm.
Bye.
Bye, bye.